दुरितानि परासु वा यद्भद्रन्तनासु वा।
ॐ हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेक आसीत् सदाधार पृथिवीं यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम।
ॐ य आत्मना बलदायस्य विश्वा उपासते प्रशिशं यस्य देवाः यस्य छायामृतं यस्य मृत्युः तस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम।
ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महिद्वैक इद्राजा जगतो बभूव य ईशे अस्य द्विपदश्चतुष्पदः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम।
ॐ ये नद्यौरुका पृथिवी दृढा येन स्वस्थभितं येन नाकः यो अन्तरिक्षे रजसो विमानः कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम।
ॐ प्रजापते नत्वरेतान्यन्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जुहुमस्तनो अस्तु वयं स्याम पतयो रयिना।
ॐ सनो बन्धुर्जनिता सा विधाता धामानि वेद भुवनानि विश्व यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास् तृतीये धामन्यध्ययन्ता।
ॐ अग्नेनय सुपधाराय यस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयुर्यस्मत् जुहुरार्णमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नमौक्तिं विधेम।
अतः स्वस्ति वाचनम्। ॐ अग्निमिरे पुरोहितं यजस्य देवमृद्विजं होतारं रत्नधातमम्।
ॐ स्वस्ति पन्थामनुचरेम सूर्याचन्द्रमसा विव पुनर्नरताग्नता जानता सङ्गमेर्महि।
अतः शान्तिकरणम्। ॐ शना इन्द्राग्नि भवतामहोभिः शमिन्द्रासो वा सुविताय शन्योः शना इशिरो अभिवातु वातः।
ॐ शनः सोमो भवतु ब्रह्मशन्नः शन्नो ग्रावाणः शमुसन्तु यज्ञाः शन्नः स्वरुणा मितयो भवन्तु शन्नः प्रस्वः शम्वस्तु वेदिः।
अथ शिव संकल्प मंत्र। ॐ यजाग्रतो दुरमुदयति देवम्
तदु सुतस्य तथैवेति
दूरंगमं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिरेकम्
तन्मे मनः
शिव संकल्पमस्तु।
ॐ सुशारदे रश्वानि वयन्मनुष्या
भीषुभिर्वाजिनेव
प्रतिष्ठं यरचिरं जनिष्ठम्
तन्मे मनः
शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु
ॐ सनः पस्वाशङ्गवे
शञ्जनाय शमर्वते
शं राजनोषधीभ्यः
ॐ अभयं न करत्यन्तरिक्षम् अभयं द्यावा पृथिवी उभयमे अभयं पश्चात् अभयं पुरस्तात् धुत्तरात् अर्हरात् अभयं नो अस्तु
ॐ अभयं मित्रारभयम् अमित्रात् अभयं जातात्
अभयं परोक्षात्
अभयं नक्तम् अभयं दिवानः
सर्वाशा
मम मित्रं भवन्तु सर्वाशा मम मित्रं भवन्तु इति संक्षेपतः शान्तिकरणम् अतः अग्निप्रदीपनम्. May we all stand for the kindling of the fire. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वध्योरिवरुणा पृथिवीर्वरिम्ना तस्यास्ते पृथिवी देवयजनी पृष्ठे अग्निर्मन्ना दमना ध्यायादधे. Fanning the fire with outstretched palm. ॐ उद्भुत्य स्वाग्नि प्रतिजागृहि त्वमिष्टापूर्ते संसृजेतावयं च अस्मिन् सरस्ते अजुतरस्मिन् विश्वे देवा यजमानश्च सीदता. Three Samhita at this time. ॐ अयन्तयद्मात्मा जातवेरस्तेने ह्यस्वभर्हस्वचेदपर्धया चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाद्येन समेधय स्वाहा.
इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्ना मम
ॐ समिधाग्निं ध्रुवस्यत घृतय बोधयतातिथिम् अस्मिन् हव्यजुहोतन सुसमिधाय शोचिषे घृतं तीव्रं जुहोतन अग्नये जातवेरसे स्वाहा. इदमग्नये जातवेरसे इदन्ना मम.
ॐ तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरो घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहश्चोचाय विष्ठ्य
स्वाहा. इदमग्नये इदन्ना मम.
Panchakritahuti, 5 ghee offerings at this time. Om Ayantayadmatma Jatavedasenir Dhaswabhardaswachira Vardhaya चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानार्येण समेधया स्वाहा
ईरमग्ने चातवेदसे ईरन्नाममा ॐ अयन्तयन्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधीन समेधया स्वाहा ईरमग्ने जातवेदसे ईरन्नाममा
ॐ अयन्तयद्मात्मा जातवेदसेनिर्धस्वभर्धस्व चेदवर्धया चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाद्येन समेधया स्वाहा
ईरमग्ने जातवेदसे ईरन्नाममा ॐ अयन्तयन्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेने ध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धया चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाद्येन समेधया स्वाहा ईरमग्ने जातवेदसे ईरन्नाममा
Fifth time. Om Ayantayadmatma Jatavedasenir Dhaswabhardhasva Chedavardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nanadyena Samedhaya Swaha
ईरमग्ने जातवेदसे ईरन्नाममा
Ataha Jal Sinchana, sprinkling of the water in the four corners. Om Arite Anumanyaswa.
ॐ अनुमतिर्मन्यस्व
Om Saraswate Anumanyaswa.
ॐ देवा सवितः प्रसुवयज पथिं भगाय दिव्यो गन्धर्वः केतन्नः पुनातु वाचस्पतिर्वाचं नः स्वरतु
Ghee offerings. Om Agne Swaha.
ईरमग्नयैरन्नाममा ॐ सोमाय स्वाहा
Idam somaya
ईरन्नाममा
Om Prajapate Swaha.
ईरं प्रजापतये ईरन्नाममा ॐ इन्द्राय स्वाहा
Idam indraya
ईरन्नाममा
And we'll do the morning offerings for tomorrow. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyotihi Suryaha Swaha.
ॐ सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा
Om Jyotihi Suryaha Suryo Jyotihi Swaha.
ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरुषसेन्द्रवत्या जुषानः सूर्यो वेतु स्वाहा
Ghee and samagri at this time. Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragnihi Swaha.
ॐ अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा
Silent offering. Om Swaha.
ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरात्रेन्द्रवत्या जुषानमग्निर्वेतु स्वाहा
Om Huragne Pranaya Swaha. Idamagne Pranaya Idannamama.
ॐ भुवर्वायवे पानाय स्वाहा इदं वायवे पानाय इदन्नाममा
Om Surarityaya Vyanaya Swaha. Idamarityaya Vyanaya Idannamama.
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वरग्नि वायवारित्येभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः स्वाहा इदमग्निवायवारित्येभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः इदन्नमम
ॐ आपो ज्योतिरसोमृतं ब्रह्मा भूर्भुवः स्वरो स्वाहा
ॐ यां मेधां देवगणः पितरश्चोपासते तयामा मध्य मेधयाग्ने मेधाविनं कुरु स्वाहा
ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रन्तनासुव स्वाहा
ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराय यस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोर्यस्मज्जुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नम उक्तिं विधेम स्वाहा.
And at this time, I invite our Pandit in training, Bhai Neeraj, to do our special mantras for tonight.
Thank you, Pandita Nirvani ji and Behin Darshini ji, for leading us in a wonderful Havan so far. As today is the actual day, this is Stapna Divas of Arya Samaj, I will do all the mantras for Pavaman Ahuti, Ashtaj Ahuti, and the mantras for the foundation day of Arya Samaj. So beginning with Pavaman Ahuti, Gi only. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Agna Ayumshi Pavasa Asuvor Jamisham Chanaha Areba Dasva Duchchunam Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idanna Mama Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Agnirshi Pavamanah Panchajanyah Purohitah Tamimahe Mahagayam Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idanna Mama Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Agne Pavaswa Swapa Asme Varchah Suviryam Dadatre Mai Posham Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idanna Mama Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Prajapate Natvadetanyanyo Vishwajatani Paritaba Bhuva Yakamaste Juhumastano Astu Vayam Syama Patayorairam Swaha Idam Prajapate Idanna Mama. Ashtajahuti, offerings for auspiciousness. Om Tvanno Agne Varunasya Vidwan Devasya Helo Vayasisishthaha Yajishtho Vahanittamah Shochuchano Vishwadveshansi Pramumudhyasmat Swaha Idamagni Varunabhyam Idanna Mama Om Satwanno Agnivamo Bhavoti Nedishto Asya Ushaso Vyushtau Avayakshvano Vanunanrarano Vihi Mrilikam Suhavona Edhi Swaha Idamagni Varunabhyam Idanna Mama Om Imam Me Varuna Shruti Havamatya Chamrilaya Twamavasyurachake Swaha Idam Varunaya Idanna Mama Om Tattvayami Brahmana Vandamanastada Shaste Yajamano Havirbhihi Ahedlamano Varuneha Bodhurushan Samana Ayuhu Pramoshihi Swaha Idam Varunaya Idanna Mama Om Yete Shatam Varunaye Sahasram Yachiyaha Pasha Vitata Mahantaha Te Bhirno Adya Savitota Vishnur Vishve Munchantu Marutaha Swarkaha Swaha Idam Varunaya Savitre Vishnave Vishvebhyo Devebhyo Marudhyaha Swarkebhyaha Idanna Mama Om Ayashagni Syanabhishasti Pacha Satyamittvamaya Asi Ayano Yajyam Vahasya Yano Dehi Bhishajam Swaha Idamagne Ayase Idanna Mama Om Uduttamam Varuna Pasha Masmadavadhamam विमत्यमं श्रद्धाय अथावयमादित्य व्रते तवानागसो अदितये स्याम स्वाहा इदं वरुणाय दित्याय दितये च इदन्ना मम ॐ भवतन्नः समनसौ सचेतसावरेपसौ मा यज्ञं हिंसिष्ठं मा यजपतिं जातवेदसौ शिवो भवतमद्य नः स्वाहा idam jata vedobhyam idanna mama. Now mantras for Arya Samaj Stapna Divas. And you'll notice in many of these mantras from the Atharva Ved and the Rig Ved, this word sam or sun keeps repeating itself. It is talking about us working in unity. And the Ved here speaks about, when it says you, it is talking about as a community, as a Samaj, not just Arya Samaj, but the world at large. Om Sanjani Dvam Samprichyadvam Sambo Manansi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Swaha Om Sanvaha Prichyantan Tanvaha Sammanansi Samudvrata Sanvoyam Brahmanaspatir Bhagaha Sanvo Ajigatmat Swaha Om Samani Prapasaha Vo Nabhagaha Samane Yotre Saha Vo Yunajmi Sanyanchogni Saparyatara Nabhimivabhitaha Swaha Om Sanvo Manansi Sanvrata Samakotir Namamasi Amiya Vrataha Sthana Tanvaha San Namayamasi Swaha Om San Samityuvase Vrishan Nagne Vishwan Yarya Idaspade Samid Yaseso Sano Vasunya Bhara Swaha. And in these last three mantras of the Rig Ved, the first mantra is saying, may we be unified in our behavior and in our duties. The second mantra is saying, may we be unified in our prayer. And the third mantra is saying, may we be unified in our hearts. Om Samgachadhvam Samvadadhvam Samvo Manansi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sanjanana Upasate Swaha Om Samano Mantraha Samitihi Samani Samanam Manah Sah Chittamesham Samanam Mantram Abhimantraye Vaha samane navo havisha juhomi swaha Om samani va akutihi samana hridayani vaha samanamastu vo manu yathava susahasati swaha. And in this last mantra, the Rig Ved is telling us the motto of our Samaj, Krinvanto Vishwamaryam. And if we all know it, I would ask that we all chant it at this time. Om Indram Vardhanto Apturaha Krinvanto Vishwamaryam Apagnanto Aravanaha Swaha. And finally, a mantra for all of our members who are experiencing grief or ailing at this time. We recite the Mahamrityunjaya mantra 3 times. And even if we're not ailing or in some sort of emotional distress, it is still for us to remind ourselves to be detached from this world and be like that Mrityor Mokshya Mamritat, and to have our souls be liberated through detachment. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा. This brings us to the end of the special mantras. I now pass you over to Bahin Darshini and Pandit Arnavani to conclude the Havan.
Thank you, Bhai Neeraj. Purnahuti Roop Akara Bhaj offerings at this time, ghee only. Om Agni Swaha Idam Agni Idannamama
Om Somaya Swaha Idan Somaya Idanna Mama
Om Prajapati Swaha Idam Prajapati Idannamama
Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Idanna Mama
Om Bhuragne Swaha Idam Agni Idannamama
Om Bhuvarvayave Swaha Idam Vayave Idanna Mama
Om Surarityaya Swaha Idam Harityaya Idannamama
Om Bhudbhuvah Swaragni Vayavarityebhyah Swaha Idam Agni Vayavarityebhyah Idanna Mama.
And at this time, we ask you all to join us in the Brahma Gayatri Savitri mantra. And this, we're asking for intellect at this time, and especially at this auspicious time, when we recognize the 149th Arya Samaj Foundation, we ask that this organization continue to grow and spread, and as the motto, make the universe noble. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat
Swaha.
Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat
Swaha.
Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat
Swaha.
Sushtapritahuti Om Yadyasya Karmanotyariricham Yadvanyunamihakaram Agnishta Swishta Krividya Sarvam Swishtam Sahutam Karotume Agnaye Swishta Krite Sahutahute Sarva Prayashritahutinam Kamanam Samardhayatre Sarvana Kaman Samardhaya Swaha Idamagne Shrishtakrite Idannamaha. Prajapati, ghee only. Om Swaha Prajapate Irannamama. And now may we all stand for Purnahuti mantras. Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha. Taking some ghee and placing our hands together against the fire, absorbing that energy and asking for that energy to be carried from here on. Ataha Mukha Sparsha. Om Tanupagneyasi Tanvarme Pahi.
Om Ayurdagnesi Ayurmedehi.
Om Varchodagnyasi Varcho me dehi.
Om Agneyanme Tanva Unam Tanma Aprina.
Om Medha me Devaha Savita Adadhatu.
Om Medha Me Devi Saraswati Adhadhatu.
Om Medha me Ashvinau Deva Dhatta
Pushkarasraja. Om Vakchamapyayatam. Om Pranashama Apyayatam. Om Chakshushrama Apyayatam. Om Shrodram Chama Apyayatam. Om Yashobalam Chama Apyayatam.
And now I invite Bhai Sohanji to take us in Pujani.
पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए, चोर देवे चल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए। वेद की गावे ऋचाए, सत्य को धारण करे, हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे, शोक सागर से तरे। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा, प्रेम पद विस्तार हो, ईदन मम का सार्थक एक में व्यवहार हो। हाथ जोर झुकाए मस्तक, हाथ जोर झुकाए मस्तक, वंदना हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे, प्रभु आपकी सब पर रहे, प्रभु आपकी सब पर रहे। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। हे ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी, सब हो निरोग भगवन। धन धान्य के भंडारी, सब भाद्र भाव देखे, सनमार्ग के पथिक हो, दुखियान कोई होवे। सृष्टि में प्राणधारी सृष्टि में प्राणधारी सृष्टि में प्राणधारी
प्रेम से बोलो वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की, प्रेम से बोलो आर्य समाज की, प्रेम से बोलो महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती जी की। माता जी और पिताजी, mothers and fathers, पूज्य पंडित जी और पंडित जी, revered पंडितस and पंडित्स, धर्म के प्रेमी बहनों, भाइयों और प्यारी बच्चों, loving sisters, brothers and children of Vedic Satya Sanatan Dharma, सादर सप्रेम नमस्ते और आर्य स्पिरिचुअल सेंटर में हार्दिक स्वागत है। On behalf of the devotees of the Arya Spiritual Center, I offer namaste and extend a warm welcome to this United Arya Samaj Federation-led celebration of our 149th Sthapana Divas. This week-long celebration began last Saturday at the Maharishi Dayananda Gurukula here in Queens. And if you were there last Saturday, our attention was drawn to a picture representation of the moment when our Samaj was founded. There in a beautiful garden stood our Jagat Guru, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati Ji, displaying the principles that would guide the Samaj tasked with improving the physical, spiritual, and social conditions of mankind. Over the past 149 years, many have sacrificed, many have struggled, and many have moved mountains to afford us this moment in time. Join with me and let us put our hands together for those who came for us, before us and paved the way for us to have this opportunity here tonight to celebrate 149 glorious years of the Arya Samaj. 149 years ago, our Jagat Guru started the work necessary for the betterment of society and for humanity at large. But that work did not end yesterday. It continues today, and it begs the questions which were asked by the president of our sister Samaj in the Bronx, Sri Dayananda Naranji. In his address last Saturday night, he acknowledged our glorification of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati Ji for what he has done and posed these questions to everyone who were gathered at the Gurukula. What have I done? And what am I willing to do? What have you and I done? And what are we willing to do to move this Samaj, our Samaj, forward for the next 149 years? I leave you with these questions as we commence this second part of our program, celebrating the 149th Sthapana Divas of our Arya Samaj. To ensure that we afford all our manders and individuals the time to offer their contributions here tonight, I kindly and humbly request that each presenter be mindful of the time. If you are speaking, please keep your speech within 3 to 5 minutes. And if you're singing, please keep your bhajans to 2 to 3 verses. To get us started, I now invite the Pradhan, the president of the Arya Spiritual Center, Sri Sohan Singh Ji, to offer his welcoming remarks, and his remarks will be followed by the president of the United Arya Samaj Federation, Panita Devi Laknath Ji.
Thank you and namaste. Let's give a big round of applause for Bhai Devendra Ji. Thank you very much. And as he mentioned, on behalf of Arya Spiritual Center, we welcome each and every one of you here tonight to join in celebration of 149 Sapna Divas, Arya Samaj Sapna Divas. Last Saturday night, the message or the theme was, how can we're here as individual Samajas, Spiritual Center, Gurukul, Bronx Arya Samaj, Hillside Arya Samaj, and I think 101 is here. But we are here as individual Samaj. How can we work together? What efforts can we make in bringing our Samajas together? And so we go with that one motto, making the universe noble. It's good for us to have our separate Samajas because of convenience, for whatever reasons. But it's important, more important, as we address Saturday night, that how can we together make all our Samajas think in one line, think collectively, and collectively we can achieve great things, as Bhai Devendra said. One great soul 149 years ago formed this very great movement, and is left upon us now together to take it forward. So once again, on behalf of our Samaj, we welcome you here tonight, and do hope that the short time we spend here tonight, we leave here with something individually and collectively. Thank you very much.
Dhanyawad Shri Sohan Singh Ji for your welcome remarks. At this time, I invite our Pandita, the President of the United Arya Samaj Federation, Pandita Devi Laknaji, to give her opening remarks.
Om. Namaste, all you diligent and dedicated souls. Smile. Let me see smile on all of your faces. Once again, we've gathered here to feel our blessings, to exchange our feelings in terms of where we are with Samaj. But first and foremost, let me say thank you to Arya Spiritual Center for hosting here tonight. And thank you for all of you, sister Samajes, member Samajes, to be here in support of this event, Sthapna Diwas, 149th Sthapna Diwas. It is indeed the greatest energy we can vibrate when we come together. And as the United Arya Samaj Federation comes together monthly to think what we can do to make all the Samajes better, it is still, when I say there is, I should say there is approximately 12 Arya Samajes here in in Queens, New York, Bronx, Boston, Connecticut, New Jersey, but not all is present here today. It's just our closest to the Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens area. No Brooklyn, sorry. So every year we gather, and the message takes us through the year. Some of us take it on fully as a challenge to ourselves. Samaj take it on as a challenge. We've seen progress in educating our Pandits. We've seen progress where our Pandits are holding regular classes on Sanskrit and Hindi and scriptures, mostly Pandit training course. Here at Spiritual Center, I had the opportunity of taking one session of course, and the second session will be graduating. So we know that we have our feet planted to do the right thing, to educate our children. Throughout my travels, I have found that where our Samaj originated from or where it continued to exist in other countries around the world, there is always a Samaj and a school side by side. And that is what we are working on since 44 years, since my teenagehood of Arya Samaj here in New York. It has been the call for us to have a school, all of us, laws of our Samajes is written that we should have educational facility. Yes, we've done well in teaching all of ourselves Hindi and teaching ourselves what we did not grasp, me, myself, as a child, learning in my adult years. It's a wonderful addition to paint or to give all of us a good background. Now we have our background. What's next? Are we going to keep, I repeat these words from a former president of Arya Spiritual Center, are we going to keep staying in kindergarten? Then we graduate to third grade, then we graduate to sixth grade. But we don't seem to find the level of where high school is for us. Some of us do, we venture out. But when we venture out, also we get to a point where, the growth is not, it's limited to where you can get. And Samajes are doing a wonderful job. But the next level of growth is education, education, education. We've been doing it through camps. We've been doing it through seminars. But we need two generations have passed me. It's for 21 and 21, 42 years. We're waiting for a Vedic school in New York. We have the land, we have facilities, but we take 2 steps forward and then we take 2 steps backward. We need to grow to the point where some of our grandchildren are becoming the 16-year-olds and the 18-year-olds. Some of them are just newly happening. This generation is passing us, and then we say, oh, the dynamics have changed. Yes, we accept that, but we don't have anything to offer our parents at a young age, like a preschool or school level for children. The children are the future. We sing it, we say it, we talk about it. So that's my spiel on where we're growing. Let's all think in that direction. My call since last Saturday is that the Vedas and Swami Dayanand's books and teaching has given us the greatest light to reshape and rethink. And as we are doing that, we come week after week and we still hold this things we call prejudices and things we get into judgmental modes. We pray, we talk, we pray, we talk, but yet most of this that we pray for every time is happening. So rethink your journey. Rethink your journey. Drop things you have learned. Over the years, we've learned so many things, from funerals to weddings to celebrations. This is my 10th year here serving, 9th year serving as the president of the UASF. And I'm still waiting for growth in a sense that we have concrete sense of Samaj oneness. Samaj oneness, united we stand. We get to be united as the call is upon us to show our dedication and commitment and conviction as the International Mahasammelan will be here in New York. It's my third appeal. The International Mahasammelan is scheduled to be here in Hofstra University. It was earlier scheduled for St. John's, but there were issues there. We had to take it to Hofstra. Are we prepared for this? Let's see, show by hands. Are we ready for the International Mahasammelan here in Queens? Very well. So put your working shoes on. We will be asking for volunteers from all the mandirs, and most of all for donations from every member. I ask tonight, as I've asked before, that let's all pledge some amount. This can be done through your mandir, this can be done through the federation, I most like if you pledge through your mandir, and then the mandir will give to the the Arya Pratinidhi Sabha, as this conference is going to be together effort with the Arya Pratinidhi Sabha and all the Samajis here in New York. And closest to home here, we have the celebration continuing tomorrow night at 101 Mandir, on Friday night at the Bronx, on Saturday night back at Hillside Avenue, and on Sunday, we culminate with our yearly ground meeting, meaning that's Arya Spiritual Center grounds on 133rd Avenue. Bring your neighbors, bring all your friends, bring everyone out, so as to we can celebrate in a grand style, hoping that we can get 200 Hawankuns, but my list haven't grown much. So let's see all of you put on your Samaj dedication and commitment for Sunday. Thank you and namaste.
Do we remember those questions? What have I done? What are we willing to do to help the Samaj to grow and to further develop? Well, we have a unique opportunity this year. I believe it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to have an Arya Samaj Mahasammelan here in New York City. So, what have I done? What am I willing to do? Dhanyawad, Panita Devi Laknaji, for your opening remarks. And now we have the privilege of having a
Mataji, Pitaji, Bhai, Bheno, Sadar, Supreme Namaste. First of all, it's truly a pleasurable privilege of being present among all you devotees to be able to give a portion of the Gurukula's contribution to the Arya Samaj Sthapna Divas, the 149th commemoration of the foundation of the Arya Samaj. Rishi Dayanand's teachings have gone beyond class, beyond gender, beyond any sort of sect. So as Mataji Devi previously said, let us all unite in our integrity as Arya Samaj. Om Aya Re Ek Jogi ऐसे उसने किए उपकार समय की बदल गई रफ्तार आया रे एक जोगी तंकारा का राज दुलारा झमका बन कर सुबह का तारा तंकारा का राज दुलारा झमका बन कर सुबह का तारा फैल गया जग में उजियारा है आया रे एक जोगी हम कैसे उपकार गिनाए ऋषिवर की गुण गरिमा गाए। हम कैसे उपकार जिनाए, ऋषिवर की गुण गरिमा गाए। पथिक कहाँ से शब्द जुटाए, आया रे एक जोगी, ऐसे उसने किए उपकार, समय की बदल गई रफ्तार। आया रे एक जोगी, आया रे एक जोगी, आया रे एक जोगी। Thank you very much and namaste.
Please give them another round of applause for that very beautiful rendition. Our Veers Neil Sukra and our Veer Vinod Gulshan. At this time, I will invite the Arya Spiritual Center Mahila to recite the 10 principles of the Arya Samaj. Do you remember in the beginning, in the introduction, when I said when we were at the Gurukula, and on the wall is adorned with a beautiful picture representation? Acharya Dr. Satish Prakashi pointed out that picture to us. And there stood Rishi Dayananda in a very beautiful garden. And I believe Acharya said, initially there were 28 principles, and today we have 10 which we are adhering to. So to recite those 10 principles for us, I'll now invite our Pandita, Nirvani Prashadji, and our Pandita in training, Bahen Shivi Samarji, to recite the 10 principles of the Arya Samaj.
Namaste, everyone. As part of the 200 celebration, we started reciting and promoting the 10 principles as of last year, and we continue to do this. Arya Samaj ke 10 niyam. प्रथम नियम, सब सत्या विद्या और जो पदार्थ विद्या से जाने जाते हैं, उन सब का आदि मूल परमेश्वर है.
God is the primary cause of all spiritual and physical sciences and of everything known through their means.
द्वितीय नियम, ईश्वर सच्चित आनंद स्वरूप निराकार सर्वशक्तिमान न्यायकारी दयालु अजन्मा अनंत निर्विकार अनादि अनुपम सर्वाधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक सर्वंतर्यामी अजर अमर अभय नित्य पवित्र और सृष्टि करता है, उसी के उपासना करनी योग्य है.
God is existent, intelligent, and blissful. He is formless, omnipotent, just, kind, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginless, unequaled, the support of all, the Lord of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal, holy, and the creator of the universe. He alone should be communed with.
तृतीय नियम, वेद सब सत्या विद्याओं का पुस्तक है. वेद का पढ़ना सुनाना सब आर्यों का परम धर्म है.
Ved is a scripture of all true knowledge. Reading, teaching, hearing, and reciting the Ved is the first duty of all Aryans.
चतुर्थ नियम, सत्य को ग्रहण करने और असत्य को छोड़ने में सर्वदा उद्यत रहना चाहिए।
One should always be prepared to accept truth and reject falsehood.
पंचम नियम, सब काम धर्मानुसार अर्थात सत्य और असत्य को विचार करके करने चाहिए।
All work should be done in keeping with righteousness, that is, after due reflection over right and wrong.
षष्ठ नियम, संसार का उपकार करना इस समाज का मुख्य है, उद्देश्य है अर्थात शारीरिक, आत्मिक और सामाजिक उन्नति करना।
To do good to the whole world is the main object of this Samaj, that is, to improve the physical, spiritual, and social states of human experience.
सप्तम नियम, सबसे प्रीतिपूर्वक धर्मानुसार यथा योग्य बरतना चाहिए।
One should have dealings with all in accordance with love, law, and propriety.
अष्टम नियम, अविद्या का नाश और विद्या की वृद्धि करनी चाहिए।
One should always promote knowledge and dispel ignorance.
नवम नियम, प्रत्येक को अपनी ही उन्नति से संतुष्ट न रहना चाहिए, किंतु सबके उन्नति में अपनी उन्नति समझनी चाहिए।
No one should remain content with his or her own prosperity. Individual prosperity should be considered in the prosperity of all.
दशम नियम, सब मनुष्यों को सामाजिक सर्वहितकारी नियम पालने में परतंत्र रहना चाहिए और प्रत्येक हितकारी नियम में सब स्वतंत्र रहे।
Everyone should be bound in following altruistic social rules. However, in matters relating to personal welfare, let all be free. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyawad Pandita Nirvani Prasad ji and our Pandita in training Bahen Shivi Samwaru ji. There are 10 principles, but the sixth is my favorite, and I hope I have it correct. To do good to the whole world is the main object of this Samaj. Tonight, we have a very special guest who kind of sneaked up on me in the corner here, Acharya Dr. Satish Prakash ji. And to offer a welcome to our spiritual center, I invite the chairman of our board of trustees, Sriman Sagar Rajpal ji, to welcome Dr. Satish ji.
Thank you very much, Baidian, and namaste, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so happy to see so many of you here tonight. It gives me such a warm feeling, and it's especially more important, and I feel so much pleasure tonight because I'm honored to introduce our next speaker. There's no one in the Western Hemisphere who embodies the Vedas, studied the Vedas, researched the Vedas, studied Swami Dayanand as Dr. Satish ji. So it gives me the greatest honor and pleasure. I call upon Dr. Satish ji to come to the mic. Dr. Satish ji.
Thank you very much, Bhai Sagar. Before we say anything of substance, can I beg you to please put your palms together and let us chant Rishi Dayanand's famous most mantra. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tanna Asuva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bhai Ranbirji, I see him here. Bhai Krishan, Bhai Sagar. From here, I don't see who else, but I see quite a few people at the back there. I hope Bhai Balaram is somewhere in the audience. Bhai Balaram, raise your hand for me, please. Yeah, Bhai Balaram, Pandita Indravati, and all, it's hard for me to call everybody's name. God bless all of you. Today, you and I are gathered for the 149th Foundation Day of Arya Samaj. It's a week-long activity. Gurukul had its portion last Saturday. Quite a few members of the United Arya Samaj Federation were there. And I agree with Bhai Sagar. If I don't come here, me and Rauti and others don't come here, you don't go there, we don't go there, they don't come here, then in the real sense, even Bronx and the India group too, Bhai Ranbir's group on Hillside Avenue, if we don't go to each other's place, then there isn't a united Arya Samaj. And in the absence of a united Arya Samaj, we'll become weaker and weaker and weaker. I wouldn't say we are weak, but we can do better. I think you will agree with me. We can do better. Yesterday, we had a New Year's Day celebration at the Gurukul, and I made a point that it was on that day, the New Year, that the decision, I need to clarify this point. The Arya Samaj was not established on April the 7th. Listen carefully. I went to Mumbai and I researched it. The decision, listen carefully, the decision to establish the Arya Samaj was made on India New Year's Day, which was yesterday. The actual launching of the Samaj took place 5 days later, which will be April. And in that year, it happened to fall on April 10th. And they held on to the April 10th year after year, year after year. So it's not that, and there's a big row all over the place on which day the Arya Samaj was established. The decision, they just didn't go like that and launch the Samaj. They had to sit down, they had to plan, they had to strategize. And Rishi Dayanand always took people with him when he had to make a major decision. He didn't force the decision onto the top members of the group around him. The decision to establish the Samaj was on New Year's Day, Vedic Hindu New Year Day, and then Panchama Shukla hi Chet. Chet means Chaitra. In the bright fortnight of the Chaitra month, on the 5th day, the Samaj was actually launched. And our son is right. I think Devi must have gone there too. We went to the actual place, the garden, but it's no longer a garden. Dr. Manik Chand, his garden, but there's a Arya Samaj big bhavan established there, and there's a Yajjakund Shala, and they do Havan every day. Quite a few people from here must have gone. But I want to really bring to your attention, I know we're here to focus on our Samaj Foundation Day, but I would like to say a few things that I said yesterday in relation to New Year's Day. And I'm saying cosmic changes are taking place there. And I don't know about India, but in Guyana, Trinidad, Suriname, whenever it's New Year's Day, I remember my mom would go buy, Krishna and Lalita and others would know, they would go buy new cloth to make blinds. They were poor people, so they changed their blinds. And for Diwali and Phagwa, they would do cobwebbing, and they would paint their posts and their fences with lime and make the place look new. You and I should do the same. When we have New Year Day, don't do your New Year Havan in the same unkept building. Have somebody sweep the corners and sweep out all the garbage and say, Ja Dalitar, go out, you useless garbage. I don't want you in the Samaj anymore. I don't want you in our minds anymore. We need to think anew and open up the windows. Let the sunlight of motivations come on the New Year's Day. Otherwise, it's just an empty ritualism you and I are engaging in. And resolve, if If you hurt somebody and somebody hurt you, forgive somebody that you hurt, and resolve that you will forgive any person who has hurt you. When you do that, you close the ranks and you become closer. These are some of the things I said. And on New Year's Day, listen carefully, you recognize that the world, and in terms of yesterday, is 1 billion, I have it written here, 1,973,813,124 years. This cycle of creation was created. And after that, when the first set of human beings came through the asexual process of creation, is 1,960,853,124 years. Also, on yesterday's day, approximately 18 million years ago, Shri Ram, after he came back from Banbas, Shri Ram was finally coronated the king of Ayodhya. And on yesterday's day also, 5,159 years ago, King Yudhishthir, after the Mahabharata war, King Yudhishthir was crowned the king of Hastinapur. And then 149 years ago, as I just said, the decision was made to establish the Arya Samaj. And then I said, when we have New Year, Krishan sends a New Year card to Balaram. And as soon as mail, Krishan forget because he wrote 100 cards. So who he sent the cards to, he doesn't even remember. It's a formality. And Balaram received the card, Krishan sent the card, and he put it down. And they don't pay attention. But for this Indian New Year, because it still has to gain traction, it has to attract us, I would like you and me and all year, let us tell people, Riddhi ho, Siddhi ho. Let prosperity and spiritual power come to us. If we in the Arya Samaj, whether Gurukul, whether Center, whether 110th Street, whether Bronx, whether whichever one, if Riddhi can come and Siddhi can come, if prosperity and spiritual power can come, Vanshame Vriddhi ho, and if we can have increase in our families, the children have passed, no one has failed. I have a salary increment. We need another car to take the kids to school. We can have a second car. If you can have that kind of vriddhi, vanshame vriddhi ho, hriday me jnana ho, if we can have knowledge in our heart to teach us how to do this and do it better, how to do this and do it better, how to do this and do it better, if we can have hriday me jnana ho, chitta me dhyana ho, and if we can have focus in our heart. If you have focus, you cook your food correctly. It wouldn't be burnt. If you have focus, you sweep and mop correctly. You don't leave garbage in the corners. If you have focus, all your children pass their exams. You go, if you have focus, you would go to your school and find out from the teachers how your child is doing. If you have focus, you'll go vote. And I'm guilty in this regard. Somebody, I don't know who it was, asked me, did you go vote in the primary elections the other day? I said, when did it happen? Me, I said, when did it happen? Because I didn't have focus. Chitta me dhyana ho, hriday me jnana ho, chitta me dhyana ho, abhaya vardana ho. If you and I can have the gift of fearlessness, and we would not be afraid to speak our minds, of course, speak respectfully and lovingly, but speak our minds because we have the gift of fearlessness in our heart. Dukh ko dur ho. If we can take our agonies and afflictions and challenges and problems and take them away, far away from us, oh, how much more smiling, how much more people would say, you're not fake, Satish, you're just smiling at us because you have pain in your heart. If our agony and pain and affliction can disappear, dukh ko dur kare, sukh bharapur kar, and if we can have if we can have abundant joy, sukh bharapurikar, asha ko sampurnakan, and if we can end up fulfilling all of our aspirations, all of our goals, if we can fulfill them, asha ko sampurnakar, sajjana ko hitaho, and if good people can end up having benefit coming their way. Well, I sowed this seed and I followed the planting and plowing procedures, and look, I have rich, abundant crop coming my way. If we can have sajjan ko hitaho, kutumba me pritaho, if we can have love in our family, parents not against children, children not against parents, parents not against children, not against grandparents, grandparents not against children, if we can have kutumba me pritaho, jagame jitaho, and if we can have victory in the world, if this whole set of homes in this neighborhood, nobody smokes drugs or takes alcohol, and there is no broken home in this urbanization, then we have victory in the world. Jagame jita ho, maya ho, saya ho. If we can have prosperity and we can have shelter from negative thinking, maya ho, saya ho, aur nirogi kaya ho. If our bodies can be healthy, no diabetes, no heart blockage, no what you call this the thing with the not liver, what's the other one? Kidney. If you cannot have kidney problems, you know how many of us die from kidney problems? If on this new year you can go up to somebody in the audience and say, nirogi kaya ho, if we can mana sammana ho, you go, oh Bhaji, come have a seat. Oh Bhaji, come sit down. We're happy to welcome you. Look at Sagar. Even if I didn't want to come, but Sagar changed my mind. Mana sammana ho. If you can have respect and esteem. You know, man, we've been at the Gurukul the other day. Pardon me for speaking Guyanese, Bhai Ranbirji, and I went to Arya Samaj USA, and I went to the Bronx Arya Samaj, and I went to Westchester Arya Samaj, and oh God, how them people come and they sit me down, and them, you know, they showed me respect and esteem. And if Sukha Samriddhi or Vidya ho, and if we can Shanti ho, if we can all enjoy peace, Shakti ho, and out of that peace we can experience a sense of soul force, bhakti bharapur ho, and if we can have abundant devotion as the final thing. Oh my God, in the Arya Samaj, we would register so much progress. I would go there and they would come there and they would go there and they would go there, and we have one united Samaj. And let me tell you something. I used to be a little boy in Guyana. I don't know the Trinidad experience or the Suriname experience, but our parents, look, some of them sitting here, they didn't have anything to iron their clothes. They didn't have access to powerful detergent. Their once white kurta would suddenly show brown. They didn't have things to wash their clothes, but they would wash and dry and not iron. And they would take lamps in the night and they would go till 2 or 3 villages down and they'd put it on the table and they would sing. Karo prachara duniya mein prabhu ka naam le lekar are baja do ved ka danka prabhu ka naam. Where Devendra is? Where are you? Where are you, Devendra? Yeah, his isn't Pandit Brijraj your grandfather? His grandfather. When I came back from India and I was taken to Hague, where was Nana Raja. When I went to his place in Windsor Forest, in Hague, a village called Hague, I saw him take out the Atharva Ved. I was seeing him for the first time. And this gentleman read a katha from the Ved. And I had just come from India, good Hindi and whatnot. And I heard him speak. And I asked my dad, who is this gentleman? Beta, this gentleman named Mahashay Brajraj. And I shook my head and I said, Satish, you had to go all the way to India. Look at Pandita Indrauti sitting here. Her Pandit, self-trained in Windsor Forest. Look, Rishi's there, self-trained, powerful. Their speeches and Vedas were powerful. The challenge is how many younger Pandits nowadays. And I know y'all are making a good effort, learning Sanskrit and all of you. But unless you study the manifesto of the Communist Party, you can't be a communist leader. Unless you study the Bible, you can't be a pastor. Unless you study the Al-Quran, you can't be an imam. Unless you study the Torah, you can't be a rabbi. And so it goes, unless you study. Now, we're in Ved. That might be too hard. Unless you study the Satyat Prakash, you cannot lead the Arya Samaj. And I want you to give a round of applause on that. Unless you study the Satyarthana. And Bhai Deepak right here, in this mandir, I see him advertising classes in the Satyarthana. I heard you chanting today, Neeraj. I didn't hear Pandit Sohan well because he was from another mic, but I heard these two younger Panditas and I heard him, and my God, they chant so well. I'm not saying it's perfect, you can do it a little tweaking here and there, but God, it sounds so nice. Bhai Sagar, you should be proud as the executive director of this mandir that your Pandits are representing your rituals very well. But study the Satyat Prakash. Don't bother with the last 4 chapters if you don't want to study that, fine. But study chapter 1 to 10 and understand it. I translated them all in modern English. You want? Bhai Deepak asked me for chapter 2, I think. It's not mine. I got 10 more years to live. After that, I'm gone. Ask me for a copy. Ask me for a copy. Go to your Samaj and teach your Samaj. Listen, we can't do without Hawan, but we cannot stop at Hawan. We can't do without Hawan. Do the Hawan every week. But if that's where you stop, yes, if that's where you stop, you are doing a disservice to the Arya Samaj. Open classes. What are the rules? Read it for me, Dave. The rule that talk about promoting knowledge. Read the principle for me. What was the principle that says promoting knowledge and dispelling ignorance? Read it loud and clear.
Ved sab satya vidyao ka pustak hai.
I can hear you clearly.
Ved sab satya.
No. Read it in English.
Oh, Veda is the scripture of all true knowledge, reading, teaching, hearing, and reciting.
No. Promoting knowledge and dispelling. Isn't there one like that? Number 6 or 7? Read it. How long you have to give it the book? What does it say? Loud and clear. You me not hear one word I say. Give. Promote, yes. Which number is it? Number 8. One should always promote knowledge. Say it. One should always promote knowledge. Abi should learn this thing. You know, one gentleman in India named Brahmachari Samhanam. Look what are the students them selling them. They used to recite the 10 principles without look a book. Am I taking too much time? Let me stop in 2 minutes. Yes, I know you see. I should always promote knowledge and dispel ignorance. That means you don't call the class here anymore. Go up on Zoom. As what Bhai Deepak, I think that Panil Bharat did it too. Go on Zoom and reach out. Gurukul can't reach out to everybody. Don't let me tell you that Gurukul will catch all the students. You start classes. USA start classes. Bronx start classes. Dawan start classes. And then you will put the Arya Samaj where it is supposed to be. I know I took too much time. I didn't really come to see all of that. Yes, Bhai Krishan. And in Guyana, watch me. In Guyana, you all will be proud. Bhai Ranbir went with his Dharampatni. Give me 2 more minutes. They went, and y'all should go too. We are reenacting the history of 1903, where Gurukul Kangri became a university. And Dawan in Ocean View, I float, will also soon time become a university. So give another round of applause. Namaste. Dave, I'm sorry to say, take so much time. You know, when I get started, I don't end. But God bless you. Namaste, everybody. Pardon me, I wouldn't stay long behind Devi. And I'll sit for another 5-10 minutes and I'll go. Namaste.
Another round of applause for Acharya, Dr. Satish Prakashji. Acharya ji, we're very happy that you have blessed our celebration here tonight with your presence at the Our Spiritual Center. Iyabar? All right. As you've heard, there are many important things that we can take away from Acharya ji's speech. And on the note of classes, I'd like to invite all of you to join with us every Thursday night on Zoom. We have Satyart Prakash classes led by our Ved Pacharak, Puja Pandit Deepak Ramanji. Okay. A very special namaste and welcome to our online global audience who are watching us on live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. At this time, I will invite Bahen Rita Kohli of the Arya Samaj New York Vedic Mandir on Hillside to render us a bhajan, after which we will invite our Pandit in training, Bhai Neeraj, to offer tonight's pravachan.
सबको मेरी बहुत बहुत नमस्ते। इस स्थापना दिवस पर मैं अपनी प्रेयर प्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। हे ज्ञानवान भगवन हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। हे ज्ञानवान भगवन हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञानवान भगवन हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। सुलझा सके हम अपने जीवन की उलझनों को, जीवन की उलझनों को प्रज्ञारितंभरासि बुद्धि का दान दे दो। करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो हे ज्ञानवान भगवन उपकार भावना से निर्भीक सत्यवाणी निर्भीक सत्यवाणी मीठे ही शब्द बोले ऐसी जबान दे दो करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो तुम देवता हो सबकी बिगड़ी बनाने वाले बिगड़ी बनाने वाले चाहो तो निर्धनों को दौलत की खान दे दो करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो हे ज्ञानवान भगवन फिर से दयानंद सा ऋषि महान दे दो ऋषि महान दे दो अशांत हुए जगत को शांति का ज्ञान दे दो करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो हे ऋषि ने हमको ऋषि ने हमें सिखाया सत्य के धर्म पे चलना सत्य के धर्म पे चलना दयानंद के पद चिन्हों पर दयानंद के पद चिन्हों पर चलना हमें सिखा दो करुणा के चार चीटे करुणा निधान दे दो हे ज्ञानवान भगवन 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 बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
Please give Mataji another round of applause. Dhanyavad Mataji for that very beautiful rendition. And now I have the privilege of welcoming to the podium one of our pride and our joy here at the Arya Spiritual Center to deliver this evening's pravachan or this evening's spiritual prasad, our Pandit in training by Neeraj Ramsamuji. Bhai Neeraj is one of the brilliant young minds that we have here at the Arya Spiritual Center. He has shown his ability to delve into our Shastras and to take a critical look. And now I hand you over to Bhai Neeraj Ramsamuji, and afterwards his presentation, we'll have the members of the Bronx Arya Samaj presenting.
Namaste, Pandits, Panditas, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, namaste. And thank you very much for that wonderful, maybe a little extravagant introduction by Devendra. Firstly, I'd like to apologize. I think Pandit Bharat was supposed to give this message, but he is not feeling so well, so he asked me to do it. So I guess instead of having wisdom and experience, you're going to be hearing some inexperience and some youth. So I apologize for that, but nevertheless, I'll try my best to say something of value tonight. Tonight we've heard a lot about unity, and I think it's kind of strange that we have Samaj in our name, which means society. We should have one common goal, and yet 149 years later, we're still talking about unity. So what is the importance of this unity? And I feel like, we always say unity. Politicians call for unity, pundits call for unity. It's a nice word to say, and it's a nice word to, kind of flaunt and say, this is unifying or that is unifying. But what is unity really? I think is the question that must be answered for us to achieve unity. Because if we all have different ideas of what unity is, then how are we going to be unified at all? Then we're all talking about different things, right? Unity is not just everyone should agree on something and that's it, right? Like it shouldn't be, we had our Acharya ji here. So, since he's Acharya, whatever Dr. Satish said must go, and all opinions that he says, it must be that way. No, that's not what unity is. Unity is you have the same common goal, but everyone's different opinions and ideas pitch in. I'll take, for example, myself and Bhai Devendra, right? Myself and Bhai Devendra, I think on almost every political issue we disagree. Yet, and he's shaking his head, yes. Yet when I talk to him and I see him in Mandir, he says, Namaste Bhaiji. I tell him Namaste. And we speak very fondly with each other when we're not speaking about those issues, right? Why is that? Because we have the same idea. We want to see this Samaj move forward. That is our overarching goal, right? And what does the Vedas say about unity? And I mentioned this when I was reciting the special mantras. There are 3 mantras at the end of the Rig Veda, very, very end of the Rig Veda, that talk about unity. Everyone, I'm sure everyone knows this one. Sam gachadhvam, sam vadadhvam, sam vo manansi janatam, deva bhagam yatha purve, sanjanana upasate. Here, God, Paramatma is speaking to us directly. He says, O devotee, move towards one common goal. Speak pleasantly to each other, and let your minds be all of one accord to acquire knowledge of various sciences, and like the enlightened seers of yore and those who exhibit exceptional behavior, perform their duties in the same manner you must perform your duties. So the Veda is saying here, performing action together. Everyone in this mandir, not just in this mandir, in Samaj, we're working together. On a smaller scale in this mandir, we're working towards the upkeep of this mandir, to the upkeep of our programs. Now we're having the Mahasamela, and you're seeing on a bigger scale, everyone is working together. Togetherness in duties, that is step number 1 for unity. Number 2, second to last mantra of the Rig Veda. Samano mantraha samitihi samani, samanam manaha sahachittamesham. Samana mantram abhimantraye vaha, samanena vo havishajuhomi. What word is kept being said, and besides some? there's another word that keeps being repeated in this mantra. And actually, it's that word itself, mantra. Samano mantraha. Mantram abhimantrayevaha. Paramatma is saying here, let your thoughts, remember mantra is not just prayer, but man, it is also thoughts. Let your thoughts be alike and place of your assembly be common. What is the common place of our assembly? Right here, in our mandirs. And I believe in the constitution of the Arya Samaj itself, Swami Dayananda says every Sunday, all the executives and everyone must come together on a Sunday morning and perform Havan. Our physical presence in a place leads to unity. Your minds should be of one accord and let your hearts be united. I initiate you in the common inspired hymns and provide all of you with common objects for acceptance and offering. And Paramatma is saying here, he has given all of us the same common prayers, the Vedas, not just for one section of people, not just for people who were born in India, not just for people who were born in Trinidad or Guyana, for everyone. He has given us all the same common prayers. That is number 2. So 1 was unity in duty. 2nd, unity in thoughts. And the very last mantra of the Rig Veda, Samani va akutihi, samana hridayani vaha, samana mastu vo mano yathavaha susahasati. What is a word that we know in here? Hridayam. Samana hridayani vaha. We must be connected in our hearts. Let your objects of your life be the same. Let your hearts and minds be united. We must all feel that love with one another. Yes, we may have different opinions, and that's a good thing. Because if we all think the same, there's no place to move forward to. Let our hearts and minds be the same. And what is the effect of all these things? Letting your actions be the same, letting your thoughts be in one accord, and letting your hearts having the same feeling for one another. You know, we as humans, we don't like to do things without a reason, right? So what is the reason? Samana mastu vo mano yathavaha susahasati, so that there may be an excellent common status of life for all. And that is how the Rig Veda ends. So on this 149th Sthapna Divas of Arya Samaj, we have a goal. Our goal is for all of us to have the same common status in life, and an excellent status at that. And we have the blueprint of how to get there. It's just for us to now execute Swami Dayananda's vision for the Arya Samaj. Thank you. Namaste.
Please put your hands once more for Bhai Niraj Ramsamoji. That question I asked in the beginning keeps repeating in my head. What can you and I do to move this Samaj forward? And every speaker is giving us bits and pieces of that answer. Bhai Niraj is correct. About 95% of the time that we have a discussion, we never agree. But we have a common understanding. Both of us are here to work for the growth and the development of this Samaj. And I wish for our elders to take this as an example. And perhaps my introduction of him might have been a little far-stretched, but I don't think so. Tonight we see Vinod is here, and we see Neil is here, and Niraj is here. Niraj is dressed in his dhoti. And Vinod and Neil are dressed in their kishti and their angocha and their kurtas. Contrast this image here with what's happening in our society today. Am I far-stretched for praising them, for being here tonight? So give them a round of applause, and all the children. At this time, we have the privilege of listening to our Arya Parivar from the Bronx Arya Samaj. I'll invite our parivar to come forward. And after which, we'll invite our parivar from Arya Samaj USA Vedic Mandir to make their contribution.
Thank you very much, Bhai Neeraj. Blessed souls traveling on the path to the wealth of liberation, my humble namaste. Before I begin with, put our hands together. Let's offer some prayers. Om Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varanam Tamasaha Parastat Tameva Viditva Timrityameti Nanyah Panta Vidyate Anaya Om Stutamaya Varada Vedamata Prachodayantam Pavamani Dvijanam Ayuhu Pranam Prajam Pashum Kirtim Dravinam Brahma Varachasam Mahayam Dattva Vrajata Brahmalokam Om Indrashreshtani Dravinani Dehi Chitim Dakshasvasu Bhagatvam Asme Pusham Reinam Arishtin Tanunam Swadmanam Vachaha Sudinatvam Mahanam Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahi Mahisha Go Brahmane Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We from the Bronx Arya Samaj, we are very honored to be here sharing the celebration of 149th year of Arya Samaj. With me, I have my sister, Pandita in training. We have Bahin Nadira here also, Pandita in training. We have our Guruji, our president, Dayan Deonan is with us. We have another Pandit in training, and he's being trained by this mandir also, by the Pandit from this mandir, Jay Dudnath, and maybe some others that are over there. We are very, very blessed to be in such a wonderful company, to share in prayers and others. Last year at the Bronx Arya Samaj, we had a very, very wonderful turnout with all of you here, most of you who are here. And we looking forward at the same time this year to be bigger than last year. So we're asking your cooperation also. Here, having my sister, she will render a bhajan for us. If time permit again, we have Bahin Nadira also there.
Prem, Sadhan Namaste to each and every one of you here tonight. O Fido Kirahi दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना खजब हो गया ओ वेदो की राही दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना खजब हो गया ओ शिवरात्रि को सभी सो गए पर तेरा जाग जाना गजब हो गया ओ वेदो की राही दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया प्रभु से मिलन की तड़प लेक दिल में तेरा घर से जाना गजब हो गया ओ वेदों की राही दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया शौक तुझको तो सच्चा चरण का हुआ शौक तुझको तो सच्चा चरण का तू करने को हासिल इलम व्याकरण का दयानंद तेरा विरजनंद धंधी की कुतिया में जाना गजब हो गया ओ वेदों की राही दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया कि बिस्तर पे अंतिम समय जब पड़े थी कि बिस्तर पे अंतिम समय जब पड़े थी तो सारे जिस्म पर फफोले पड़े थी मगर इतनी मुश्किल में और काश्त में भी तेरा मुस्कुराना गजब हो गया ओ वेदों की राही दयानंद स्वामी तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया ओ शिवरात्रि को सभी सो गए पर तेरा जाग जाना गजब हो गया। ओ वेदों की राही दयानंद स्वामी, तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया। तेरा जग में आना गजब हो गया। नमस्ते।
That was my sister Mahala. Thank you, Vijay. If later, if time permit, that we're gonna have Bahin Nadira, if it's possible, if you have the time. Again, we thank all of you to accommodate us, the Bronx Arya Samaj, here with you, especially its Arya Spiritual Center. And thank you, Bhai Niraji. Namaste. Namaste.
Dhanyawad Pandit Rishiji and Mataji for your beautiful contributions. At this time, I invite our Pariwar from the Arya Samaj USA Vedic Mandir to offer their contributions to this, our 149th Stapna Divas celebrations. After which, we will invite Pandita Amrita Singh Ji to offer her contributions.
Namaste, everyone. ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है. This is a Professor Bhaskaran's composition. ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है. ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है. वैदिक धर्म पताका चहुओर उड़ रही है. दुनिया विराजती है. घन घोर तम अविद्या चंगुल फसा जगत था. घन घोर तम अविद्या चंगुल फसा जगत था. अज्ञान पट हटाया ज्योत्सना दिखा रही है. ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है. नर और नार दोनों को, नर और नार दोनों को एक सा बताया. आदर्श प्रेम जीवन झलके
दिखा रही है ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है। आश्रम मरम सुझा के जीवन सुखी बनाया, गुरुकुल प्रथा बताई सदियां फुला रही है दुनिया विराजती है ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है। वर्णादि की व्यवस्था गुण कर्म अरु स्वभाव वेदोक्त मार्ग चलती जगती हरी भरी है ऋषिवर तिहार महिमा दुनिया विराजती है दुनिया विराजती है।
Dhanyawad Pandit Vidyanandji for that very beautiful rendition. We really do appreciate everyone's patience as we navigate through tonight's program to afford every Mandir and every individual an opportunity to contribute to this 149th Sthapna Divas celebrations. At this time, I will invite Pandita Amrita Singh Ji to offer her bhajan contribution, after which we will invite Pandit Kamta Ji to offer his rendition, and following Pandit Kamta Ji, we'll ask Mataji Nadira from the Bronx Arya Samaj to offer her contribution.
Sadhar Supreme Namaste. It is indeed a blessing and an honor to be here to celebrate 149 years. The Geet I will sing says, Jag mein Vedo ki jab tak nishani rahe. As long as there's Vedas, as long as there's Santyar Prakash, as long as we study Vedas, and as long as we study and read the Satyar Prakash, Maharshi ki amar ye kahani rahe, then this eternal story and this eternal kahani of Swami Dayanand will continue to remain. Pyara Rishivar Pyara, this eternal story of our loving, of our Rishi who sacrificed everything and even paid the consequences of saying the truth, of upholding truth.
जग में वेदों की जब तक निशानी रहे, महर्षि की अमर कहानी रहे, कहानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा। ओ जग में वेदों की जब तक निशानी रहे, महर्षि की अमर कहानी रहे, कहानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा। ऋण इतने हैं ऊपर हमारे, आसमां में नहीं है सितारे। ऋण इतने हैं ऊपर हमारे, आसमां में नहीं है सितारे। जन्म सो पार हो, ऋण से ना पार हो, जन्म सो पार हो, ऋण से ना पार हो। याद उनकी सदा मेहरबानी रहे, मेहरबानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा। ओ जग में वेदों की जब तक निशानी रहे, महर्षि की अमर कहानी रहे, कहानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा। रात को भी ना निद्रा में सोया, दिन दुखियों के दुख में था रोया। रात को भी ना निद्रा में सोया, दिन दुखियों के दुख में था रोया। तेरी ऋषि की पुकार मिट जो अंधकार, तेरी ऋषि की पुकार मिट जो अंधकार। जग में कुछ दिन जो मेरी जिंदगानी रहे, जिंदगानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा। ओ जग में वेदों की जब तक निशानी रहे, महर्षि की अमर कहानी रहे, कहानी रहे। प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा, 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 प्यारा ऋषिवर प्यारा. Thank you.
Dhanyawad, Pandita Amrita Singh Ji, for that very beautiful rendition in praise of our Jagaguru Paramhansa Maharshi Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji. At this time, I have the privilege of inviting Pandit Kanta Ji from our sister mandir, Arya Samaj USA Vedic Mandir, after which we'll have Bahin Nadira Ji from our sister mandir in the Bronx.
Thank you, Bhaji, for extending the time to allow me to say a few words. Firstly, we pay homage to the Vedic seer and teacher, Dayanand Saraswati. Jagat Guruve Brahma Rishiye Dayananda Saraswataye Namaha. Jagat Guruve Brahma Rishiye Dayananda Saraswataye Namaha. We pay homage to the world teacher and Vedic seer, Dayananda Saraswati. So if you're gonna celebrate Arya Samaj Foundation and anniversary, you must start first with the individual. Praise him. And what he said to us. I've heard many things have been said, but let's say what he said. Sritunama Satyorataha Prabhu Vada Kirtinam Gungunaha Jagat Kalyana Ratam Paramam Palado Yukta Tupachitaha Aho Yena Prokto Nigama Vidyasho Sanyam Jushaha Dayanando Vandhaya Kim Vimsad Alankaryanu. He said, for the emancipation of the world, the Rishi with abundant proof explained the true meaning of the Vedic mantras revealed by God in such a way that the commentaries remained faithful to the original and yield the supreme fruits of mukti to all mankind. In the task of interpretation, Rishi Dayananda was a veritable Vedic scholar, practicing self-control. Oh, why should Rishi Dayananda, jewel among poor souls, not be worthy of our veneration? And he tells us in the Satyar Prakash, Eka mantra Vaidik dharam pehle ta jagama, Swami pehle ta jagama, Mahabharat paryant ko Anya dharam ka na Rishi Vardayanand ki jai. In the beginning, there was one religion in the world, and it was Vedic. There was no other religion until the Mahabharata war. And he said, Vahi dharam yahainit sannatana sarvatantra siddhanta puratan koi vridyoi ho na jako sarvajanik sat kahiye tako. That religion is the eternal Sanatana Dharma, because its beliefs are as old as the universe and they relate to all humankind. Such a religion is universal because it rises above the hostility of other human creeds and responds to the needs of suffering humanity. And he said, Mana rahe, manat rahe, manega sansaro, Swami, manega sansar. Adi hua jis dharma ko, wahi dharma ka sar, Rishi Vardayanand ki jai. The religion of humanity is made up of those principles which the world accepts since the beginning of human history, and will continue to accept in the future. And he gave us 10 of it, which was read earlier. And finally, he says, it is not my objective to hurt anyone's feeling or thoughts. I only have one objective, and that is to let there be light and let the darkness be destroyed. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you. Dhanyavad, Pandit Kamtaji, for those very beautiful verses. I enjoyed them very much. And I hope to hear more of those tomorrow night when we visit our Parivar at the Arya Samaj USA Vedic Mandir. We are running a little behind schedule, so I apologize in advance to anyone who we may not be able to accommodate tonight. At this time, I invite Bahin Nadira Ji from the Bronx Arya Samaj, after which we'll have a few words from our Pandita Ji, Pandita Indrauti from the Maharishi Dayananda Gurukula.
Sadhana Namaste to one and all. It gives me the greatest pleasure for being here once more and to watch our lovely audience. On behalf of the Bronx Arya Samaj Mandir, I bring greetings to all of you in praise of Vedic Satya Sanatan Dharma. Kaho Kabar.
कहो एक बार रहे मित्रों सनातन धर्म की जय हो कहो एक बार रहे मित्रों सनातन धर्म की जय हो कहो प्रचार दुनिया में वैदिक धर्म की जय हो कहो एक बार रहे मित्रों सनातन धर्म की जय हो 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 सनातन धर्म है सच्चा ही गाया जिसको ओवे रोनी सनातन धर्म है सच्चा ही गाया जिसको निवेदोनी लगाओ मन इसमें तुम सनातन धर्म की जय हो सनातन धर्म की जय हो सनातन धर्म की जय हो all of us सनातन धर्म की जय हो सनातन धर्म की जय हो कहो एक बार रहे मित्रों सनातन धर्म की जय हो सनातन धर्म की जय हो Thank you, Anu.
Dhanyavad, Bahin Nadira Ji from our sister mandir in the Bronx. That was a very beautiful rendition. At this time, I invite then Panita Indrauti Ji from the Maharishi Dayananda Gurukul to offer a few words, after which we will bring tonight's program to a close with our Arti Bhajan and closing Prarthana. Mataji.
Sadar Supreme Namaste to all our wonderful brothers and sisters. I was not prepared to say something this afternoon, but as a growing child in that beautiful village of Windsor Forest, which at one time had the strongest functioning Samaj, and which Samaj was based on and was nurtured on the principles of Arya Samaj. Every child, nearly every adult, knew the principles. I am righteously proud this evening to see and to hear at least. I haven't gone to the other celebrations yet, so I don't know. Like Dr. Satish was saying, unless you study the manifest, you cannot live accordingly. And so we don't call ourselves Aryans as yet. We call ourselves Arya Samajists. And I wish to go to one of the principles that I've learned deeper at the later age. संसार का उपकार करना इस समाज का मुख्य उद्देश्य है, अर्थात शारीरिक, आत्मिक और सामाजिक करना. Before I can serve Samaj, sharirik, me, the body, unless this body, meaning we need to pay attention to our health in the best possible way. If I am not healthy, I cannot go out there to preach anything or to teach anything. No. So Swamidanand says, Sansar ka upakar karna, for the upliftment of society, which is the primary aim of the Samaj, arthat sharirik, the body first, atmik, when I'm here physically well, then I can create this, then samajik, then I can go to Samaj. So all of us, if we can take an extension of at least that one principle for tonight, make sure we pay attention. Do not take things for granted. So many of us are falling prey to medical conditions. Go to the Arya Samaj 10 principles, Arya Samaj ki 10 niyam. Look at that one. That's it. Apart from Ved Sab Satya video ka pustak hai, and Ishwar Satchidanand Prabhu, all of that, yes, that's good also. But what about me? How am I going to preach that? How am I going to teach that? How am I going to inculcate that if I don't pay attention to this body of mine? And nobody else can do that for me. So please take this one. If you can, let's start with the body. Do not take things for granted. We have a certain code of discipline that the Rishi gave us. What we eat, Jaisa man, Vaisa tan. Jaisa pani, Jaisa vani. Whatever we eat, that's what we'll get here, the brain, the mind. And the mind will lead us to take care of the body. I wouldn't go further, I just ask you to pay attention to these. If there's something meaningful in Samaj that we want to take forward, let us, Mandevi, the ball is in your court. Make sure you arrange for something where we can pay a little more attention to the body. Protecting the body, preserving the body, nurturing the body, and maintaining the body's health. Namaste. Thank you all very much. Bye, GM.
Namaste, devotees all. In addition to our celebration here, I am also celebrating 110 years for my father. 3 years ago, I started research on what is Vedic Satya Sanatan Dharma. I published about 10 publications, and I have come up with the 4 pillars of Vedic Satya Sanatan Dharma, and I also include Vedic Puranic Satya Sanatan Dharma. First one is the continent of Aryavarta. This is what Swami Dayananda said. We have a sacred land, a sacred continent, not a city like Jerusalem and so on. So it's a sacred land, and I'm saying it's Hindu Varta. Swami Dayananda say Aryavarta. We have an ancient Hindu civilization. We have a current Hindu way of life that was gleaned from 10,000 years since the time of Emperor Swayambhua. And we also have a Hindi language. I have introduced in one of my books, American Hindi. Bharatiya Hindi was changed to British Hindi. And in doing the translation, they tried to fit in the 46 letters of Hindi into the 26 letters of the English alphabet, and it couldn't work. They used a lot of lines, like a U with a line at the top is OO. I with a line at the top is EE, and so on. So these are the 4 principles, and I have some copies here passed around. I have made summaries of what I have in the books. They're available at Amazon. I came here 2 weeks ago to introduce my last book here, this one here, Dharmhin Satsang, in which I have reduced the time to
और
spend
एक
for
विराट
Dev
वट
and
वृक्ष की
Ram
तरह हम
Yajna
सभी को
to last 20
अपनी
minutes.
छाया प्रदान कर रहा है। उनके द्वारा रचित
very much.
सत्यार्थ प्रकाश की ज्ञान मंजूषा हमारी चिरंतन संस्कृति को न सिर्फ भारत में बल्कि विश्व में फैला रही है। यह हम सबका सौभाग्य है कि महर्षि दयानंद जी का 200वां जयंती वर्ष हम सभी के लिए उनके विराट
One
विचारों
final
को अधिक से
announcement.
अधिक
We
लोगों
offer our
तक ले जाने
gratitude to
और
everyone
उनसे
who
प्रेरणा
offered their seva
लेकर राष्ट्र
to make
निर्माण में
this
एकजुट होकर योगदान
149th
देने का
Statman Divas celebration
सुअवसर
here
है।
at the Arya Spiritual Center. A good experience for all of us. Tomorrow night, you'll be joining with our Parivar, the Arya Samaj USA Vedic Mandir from 7 p.m. And this coming Sunday, here at the Arya Spiritual Center, there will be no satsang to facilitate the multi-kund Havanyaja
और एक
happening at the
विराट
Arya
वट वृक्ष
Spiritual
की तरह
Center.
हम सभी को
Let us all
अपनी
now
छाया
join in
प्रदान
our
कर रहा है। उनके द्वारा रचित सत्यार्थ प्रकाश की ज्ञान मंजूषा हमारी चिरंतन संस्कृति को न सिर्फ भारत में बल्कि विश्व में फैला रही है। यह हम सबका सौभाग्य है कि महर्षि दयानंद जी का 200वां जयंती वर्ष हम सभी के लिए उनके विराट विचारों को अधिक से अधिक लोगों तक ले जाने और उनसे प्रेरणा लेकर राष्ट्र निर्माण में एकजुट होकर योगदान देने का सुअवसर है।
स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ ओम जय जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट भक्त जनों के संकट जिन्हें दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
अथ शांति पाठः
ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिः रोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिः विश्वे देवाः शान्तिः ब्रह्मा शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। प्रेम से बोलो ओंकार भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो जगत गुरु महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद की जय। प्रेम से बोलो वेदा माता की जय। आर्य समाज अमर रहे, आर्य समाज अमर रहे, वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे, वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे, ओम का झंडा ऊंचा रहे, ओम का झंडा ऊंचा रहे। वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। भोजन मंत्र ओम हनपते धनस्य नो देहि यनमिवस्य शुष्मिनः प्रप्रदातारं तारिष ऊर्जन्नो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे ओम शांति शांति शांति। वैदिक अभिवादन नमस्ते।
Please provide refreshments for all of us.